Okay guys, haven't done a wrap-up video in a week. We've been on vacation. It's nice to be back though. I didn't want to dive right into anything this morning. Felt a little bit, I don't want to say skittish, but just whenever you've been away from the market, it's always a good idea to kind of ease in, right? I didn't want to call something in the first 10 minutes or anything, but anyway. I made 2 calls today. First Solar FSLR was one of them. This is what the chart looked like before today. Just to explain why I had it on watch. Had this big pop on earnings. Looks like this would have been Thursday while I was on vacation. On massive volume, okay? A lot of shorts in First Solar, so it became interesting to me right there. Love the fact that it put in a red day on Friday. A lot of people say, well, this round trip, so they're in trouble. It didn't really round trip. It closed all the way down here at 1480, and then gapped up and opened at whatever price it was, 17, okay? And so then anyway, the next day it closed around 17. So it's still up big from the 1480 close before earnings. So I had this on watch for a long setup. Okay, now I'll go to an intraday chart to show you how I called it. Okay, here it is on an intraday, kind of an X-ray version, if you will, of the longer chart. These are 2-minute candles. I actually had 5s projecting at the time. Doesn't make much of a difference. It looked basically like this, and when it got to 1730, I went ahead and said I'm going long here. I put it out in a announcement, a pop-up announcement for everybody to see. Going long 1730, worst case stop, low of day, which was 1710. Okay, 1 tick below the low of the day. So 20 cents risk, and there's 2 minutes later, we're up about 15 cents a share, and at that point I said I'm moving my stop to 1717, so now my risk is less, and you can see what happened. Then it busted through the high of the day, took some profits off somewhere in here. I can't even remember where now. I always try to break it up into thirds, and said I was going to a break-even stop at that point. Okay, now I'll switch to 5-minute candles, and you can see what happened. This is the area right about here where I called it. After about 2 minutes, our stop was right here. After about another 5 minutes, our stop was break-even, and you can see from our entry at 1730, this thing went all the way to what, 1937, $2.07 in our favor on 20 cents risk. Also want to give Stephen B, one of our all-stars, credit for this next call. It was unbelievable. INFA looked like this, 5-minute candle basis here. He called it long, excuse me, over this candle, 29.65 stop, below this candle, 29.53. Okay, that's 12 cents risk, and I'll just scroll over and let you look at it there. That was the low right there. This was the entry, this was the stop. That thing moved $2.40 in our favor on 12 cents risk. 29.65 entry went to 32.05. Beautiful call by Stephen B, and he's just continues to really prove himself in there. Just a great asset to the room. And then my only other call of the day, there's about 2 minutes left in the session. I'm sitting here watching the SPY push down through lows of the day. Interesting stuff. I don't usually call anything in the last half hour. All right, anyway, my only other call was Mako, M-A-K-O. It's a lower volume stock, so I think my exact wording was trade small if you take this, the high of day rate. 1352 was the idea. If you go out on 15s, maybe even let's go out on 60s, you see this huge sell-off back here. I loved it over the early high of day, 1352. Stop was 1339. Let me switch back to 5s now. Once you get a high of day break and you don't get follow-through on something like this where you're looking for follow-through, I usually don't let the stop work. I killed it here. I'd say less than a dime loss. It just, once you get the breakout and it doesn't happen, always prudent to just get back out. Okay, in it small anyway, but that was it for the day. That's the highlights. Interesting sell-off here late in the day on the SPY. All right, I'll let you guys go, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.